Hey kids, thanks for tuning in to Border City Rock Talk. We get great news, great interviews, great interviewees, and sometimes a comedic touch. Now make sure you hit that subscribe button, it's very important. Hit the like button and comment below. Today I've got a great guest. Let's welcome to the show my brother from another mother, Ed the Sock.
What the hell was that with that thing? What the hell was that?
Uh,
What the hell was that?
That's
That's how you open this interview? That's the respect you show me? That kind of crap? What the hell, man?
Well, I mean, I got my start just now, and you've had a start for decades. Thanks for coming on the show, Ed. I love the swag. I love Do you dress yourself, or how does that work?
No, I have a team of people who dress me. What kind of stupid is this? What's going to happen? Am I going to have these dumb questions all the way through? Do you dress yourself? I feed myself too.
All right. All right. So we got Ed the Sock here. Everybody knows Ed from his Much Music days. I've got some cliche questions, but I was watching, and this is how I was reintroduced to you. The Goo Goo Dolls had canceled the show here in Sault Ste. Marie about 2 weeks ago. And then I was seeing if there's any more news on YouTube, and I was typing Goo Goo Dolls to see if they canceled the Oshawa show. I came across your interview with Johnny Resnick. Now, I got to admit, the interview was hilarious and everything, but I don't know if it's just me, but he's canceled the tour from pneumonia. I hope he's okay. Everything will be fine. But even in his voice, did it sound like to you that there's a cold brewing? Like, when did you do that interview?
Oh, that interview was like a month or more, 5 weeks before the concert was supposed to happen in Oshawa and Hamilton. So no, I didn't go detecting anything in his voice. See, you knew about the pneumonia afterwards, so you're listening, trying to be a detective. But no, there was nothing that indicated anything.
Okay, well, I thought it. So you made him crack up. I mean, I know some of your interviews have they didn't really go south, in my opinion, because everybody watching laughed. But I've recently come across a couple where you're talking about the Vanilla Ice story, and the Howie Mandel one he was kind of, in my opinion, a bit of a douche at the beginning. He didn't realize what was going on. Tell us the Vanilla Ice story, because I still can't find the full interview.
Oh, you won't find it. It hasn't been digitized.
Oh, so it's only on
It's
beta.
on tape. I'm in the process of getting set up to digitize all of that stuff. It just isn't there yet. I got other things to do. But the Vanilla Ice, oh man, I've told this story. So Vanilla Ice was past his Ice Ice Baby 80s prime, and he was doing a concert in Florida. And we thought, wouldn't it be fun to do an interview with Vanilla Ice? He was at that point trying to find what his new voice will be, what his new shtick will be. I mean, how many Queen songs can you rip off? So he was doing Cypress Hill, all the weed stuff and so on. Anyway, we go to Florida, we go to the club, and we start to do the interview. And he is a real prick. Now I understand the guy went from giant fame to being a laughing stock. So I understand he's feeling a little prickly. And so I'm doing the interview with him, and all he's talking about is how miserable his life has been. What a miserable life he's had. Wouldn't wish it on anyone. And he kept taking shots at me. And I have a rule that you get three. After three, okay, the gloves are off.
Right.
And I forget even what the stupid jabs were. But he was going on and on about how bad his life was. And now this is a dated reference. You may remember it because you look like you probably are old enough. But I said to him, "Are you going to see Sally Struthers doing late night commercials to raise money for you?" Because at the time she was a sitcom actress, former sitcom actress who did commercials to raise money for impoverished kids around the world.
Yeah.
And he said, sock puppet gimmick. And I said, yeah, but mine is still working.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the interview continued after that. I forget where it came in for a landing.
Yeah.
And then, okay, see you later. We left. We're walking out of the club, getting to the car, me and the camera guy. And his manager comes out. Says, hey guys. Yeah. He says, Ice doesn't want to do the interview.
No, he said he didn't want to record. Remember?
No, he said, I don't want to do the interview.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Sorry.
What are you telling me my story now?
You're right. I'm sorry. You can't
I've told
continue.
this story 10,000 times, and I was there, and you're correcting me. What kind of balls do you have, man?
Oh,
Anyway, so the manager says he doesn't want to do the interview, and me and the camera guy look at each other. What the hell's he talking about? We just did it. And I said, well, what do you mean he doesn't want to do? We just did the interview. No. Manager says he doesn't want to do the interview. The hell? And I said, but it's done. We recorded. He goes, no. He doesn't want to do the interview. And I paused. Said, do you mean he doesn't want us to use the interview? And he said, yeah. He doesn't want to do the interview. And I said to him, listen, when we called to book this, you could have said no.
Yeah.
When we arrived, you could have said no. If you'd stopped the interview midway through, we wouldn't have used it. But we finished the interview. We're using it. He goes, Ice isn't going to be happy. I said, well, that's your concern, not my concern. So we get in the car, and I swear it's not 90 seconds later that the record company that was putting out his stuff at the time says, hey, how was the interview? I heard the interview went great. We're really glad that you came down and did the interview. We really appreciate it. And yeah, okay, bye. And, obviously what happened was Vanilla Ice called up the record company, the record label, and the record label probably said something like, do you see anyone else there interviewing you? This is a national music channel, the equivalent of MTV for Canada. Nobody else is talking to you. So we used it.
So it did go up at some point. Did it go up on much? Like, I don't remember back then.
Well, I mean, in those days, it didn't go up. It aired. So, yeah, it aired on Much Music. And on my late night show, on Ed's Night Party. It aired on that as well.
Right. Okay. So, speaking of the Much Music days, who do you think was your big break interview? Like, you've had hundreds, but at least hundreds.
I don't think I had a big break interview. I mean, my very first interview live on Much was with the Headstones.
Oh, wow.
And me and Hugh were going at it. There was some epic dick swinging going on. And Denise Donlin, who was running the channel, she transformed Much into what it was. She cut the interview short because she thought we were actually going to come to blows.
No way.
She didn't know. No. This is like professional wrestling. It was, anyway, that was the first. And I didn't get an interview, a live interview after that for a little while. But I think the thing that finally, there were people in the building, and the building was more than Much Music. It was City TV, it was Space, it was the news. And there were people there who didn't think that I should be on the air. Mostly they had, I don't know, they had their own issues. Anyway, it was after Woodstock 99 that all of that turned. Yeah. It was after I was live at Woodstock and just as the riot broke out. And the fact that I had predicted it a day earlier and had predicted about 10 minutes before it happened live, I said, okay, this is about to blow up. This is going to be Lord of the Flies. And it blew up. And we stayed, Suk Yin and I stayed up on the platform live for as long as we could while everything was going to hell until security came and told us, get the hell out of there.
That's true journalism.
What the hell? It was, we were covering an event. It went from, fluff for a concert to this is what turned out to be a newsworthy, I wouldn't call it, well, I guess historic event. It's something that people have revisited with documentaries, so I guess it was something. But at the time, we were just doing what we always did. We whatever was happening, whatever was thrown at us, we were live. We just covered it. That's all. And then so we were taken to the secure area where the musicians and all the TV people went, and then Much Music Management says, hey guys, we left some, like, the equipment we left on that platform's expensive. Can you guys go out there and get it and bring it in?" So they were asking VJs, me, Suk Yin, Rick, Bill, to go out there through the rioting mob and fight with them, climb our platform and carry out heavy equipment because it was expensive. Management, nobody else was doing it. They weren't asking the techs, they weren't asking the camera guys. They're asking the freaking VJs to do the heavy lifting. We're like, no, you have insurance.
Oh, okay, cool. That's a great answer because that's actually true. So what happened with the equipment? Did you eventually get it back, or did?
Oh, who the hell knows? That wasn't my concern.
Yeah, bigger fish to fry.
We never, I mean, we didn't go live again. Well, actually, wait, I guess they must have been able to secure it at some point because me and Suk Yin went up on, there was an RV that Much had rented as kind of their base. And we went up on top of the RV with a camera guy, and we watched from a distance the mob of kids setting fires in garbage cans, and the police making sort of a wall and moving them back so there was a perimeter, and they were banging on the guy. It was crazy freaking tribal stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, it's crazy freaking tribal stuff now. So when you were doing the show, and we'll talk about a few more great interviews you had with some big celebrities, but the cast, the people, the team, the community, did you have a crush on anybody? Like, there's everybody watch Much Music. Most males watch Much Music for one reason: Rick the Temp. So did you have a crush on Rick or Erica or anybody like that?
I never worked with Erica. Erica was done. I was like the second generation VJ. Erica was first generation.
Right.
So Erica and I never even met until years later. And I didn't have a crush on Rick, but man, Rick has been a good friend and a good pal for years and years. Every time we work together, we enjoy it. In fact, Rick is the catalyst for how I got into radio. Now that, I mean, I'm loving what I'm doing now. It's kind of like Much Music without having to play boy band videos. And Rick got me into it by accident because he was the morning co-host on an FM radio station in the Toronto market. And his on-air partner, was going away. And he asked me to come in and sub in. And I did. And I was like, wow, this is the only place in broadcasting now and that you can do this, that I can do what I do and have fun with it. And Rick and I always work very well together because we're kind of like an odd couple. But underneath it is a friendship. Anyway, that worked out. And then his partner went away for the whole month of December once. And I filled in the entire month, the morning show. And it may have gone further, but then Rick decided he didn't want to do mornings anymore. So, and then, but I had really enjoyed radio. It really was. I had the freedom to basically do what I did at Much. And I loved it. It was great connection with the audience and so on. And then the people over at 94.9 The Rock, another GTA station, contacted me that they wanted to revive the live overnight radio format and asked me, did I have ideas? Would I do it? And they gave me carte blanche. And I did. I called it the all-night show. I should have just called it Ed the Sock, but I called it the all-night show. And it's midnight to 5 a.m., 5 nights a week live. I take live calls, live requests for music. I do all kinds of, nonsense and fun. On the weekends, it's the same time slot, Saturday, Sunday, best of from the week. So it's seven nights a week, 5 hours. and it's the greatest fun and most fulfilling I've ever had, because the station, the management is actually really understanding and supportive of what I'm doing, of what their on-air people do. I've also developed a really strong audience. Like, there was nobody talking to people who work overnight, or people who are up all night, insomniacs, or overnight bankers who work for foreign markets, cops,
Yeah.
first responder. Nobody was talking to these people, and they
Art
felt.
Art Bell did that years ago, but he's passed away.
Yeah, no, I remember. Of course, I know Art Bell, Coast to Coast, before the show was taken over by that knob, George Noory. Um, so anyway, all of a sudden, people are like, "Hey, somebody is there. They hear us." It's like, the Dr. Seuss book. We're here. We're here. We're here. And so I just attracted a huge audience of people who now felt connected through me. And we've got regulars. It's almost like Second City meets WKRP in a way. They're
Oh,
real
wow.
people. The callers are real people,
Yeah.
but they're like natural comedians or just oddballs,
Yeah.
a mix of both.
Or
And
high or
so,
drunk at that hour. Yeah.
no, they're not. I don't take the drunks anymore, because the drunks, they're no drunk is ever as funny as the drunk thinks they are, and it becomes stupid at that point. And you know what? I don't want to encourage these people thinking that they're funny when they're drunk, or anybody else listening to think it's funny to be this inebriated. So I actually don't take the drunks anymore. When they call, I tell them to call back when they're sober, and that's off the air. I don't put them on, because I don't want to further the idea that, oh, it's great fun to be alone at night and drink yourself to death.
Yeah.
So anyway, no drunks, just interesting, fun people.
Awesome.
And we call it the nighttime neighborhood. And I've used it to, we do a thing called Socktoberfest in October. It's a big event, live music and comedy. And admission is a pair of new clean socks or undergarments, or gently
Okay.
used winter clothing for the homeless.
Yeah.
And that continues in December with Phil Santa's Sack, where I go out as Santa to various locations for the day, and people who couldn't come to Socktoberfest can bring the stuff. And we brought in huge hauls for the area, huge. Like the first Socktoberfest, the local, the people from the municipality who deal with homelessness brought us 2 Rubbermaid bins.
Wow.
And we looked at them and said, we may need more. So they brought 2 more. We filled those 2, and in the end, about 27 green garbage bags full of clothing. So it was a huge haul. And, also I get to know these people. I get to know when they got issues. I can tell by their voices. I talk to them off mic sometimes. I've helped people off mic because I know they need a hand. Like, there's nobody out there really who gives a rat's ass about average regular folks. And I see myself as one of the average regular folks. I'm not above them, but you know what? People like me. People have trusted me. They feel a relationship with me. If I can use that to do something decent at the same time, I still don't suffer fools. I still give people a rough time when they're being idiots.
Yeah.
And I still am there for laughs. But at the same time, there's no reason. Like, I am loud, as you may have noticed. I am a bit aggressive, some people might say. And nowadays, the people that are loud and aggressive are complete assholes. It's people like Joe Rogan and people like those on the far right, and also the idiots on the far left, but mostly on the far right, that kind of swaggering machismo that they adopt, that is what is drawing people. But what they're saying is horrendous. It's stupid. It's childish. It shows that their masculinity is very fragile. So I'm a centrist. I believe in basic equality, like basics, the fundamentals of our Western society, which is equal rights for everybody.
Right.
Even if just because we happen to discover along the way there are some groups we didn't realize were groups or whatever. And now we say, okay, now that we know you're there, you get equal rights too. That, to me, that isn't left, that isn't right, that isn't woke. That's just, hey, fulfilling what we believe in as Western democracies. That's it. That's all. But
100%.
yeah, so I use the same delivery mechanism as those jackasses in the U.S., but I say different things.
Yeah. You don't hate the American people because most of my subscribers are American. It's just
No, of
a
course
lot
not.
of lot of the leaders at the top are just full blown fucking loony.
No, I
In
mean,
Canada too.
how do you hate like 300 million people? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I actually feel very sad because we have a lot of American listeners and callers and texters
Mm.
who do not support the fascism that's growing in the U.S. I
And
mean,
in
people
Western
voted for
society
Trump.
for sure.
Yeah, people voted for Trump for various reasons, and
Yeah.
I don't excuse them. A lot of them are like, "Well, I'm not a racist." But I don't care so much enough about racism to not vote for him. Like it was, they aren't necessarily fully in support of everything Trump's about, but it didn't bother them enough not to vote for him. We'll see what comes around now if the U.S. ever has another election. I think that's in the air.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there's a lot of American people, and it seems even dumb to say. Of course, there's a lot of, I mean, the No King's Day rallies a couple of weeks ago, millions, the biggest rally in the United States history, millions of people organized and got out there. Those people aren't on board with the masked secret police and that crap.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have nothing against Americans. In fact, I would like us to get back to a relationship with shared values.
100%. So, since this show is primarily about rock music and stuff, although I bring in different kind of guests, the Spinal Tap incident, do you remember that when they had puppet show above Spinal Tap at the theater? Were you you remember
No,
that?
no.
Okay. Well, anyways, maybe it wasn't you. So anyway, Spinal Tap was pissed. He was talking to Janine, their new manager, and said, "I told you 3 times it's Spinal Tap, then Puppet Show." But they put your marquee up, or on the marquee, you got headline on that show.
Oh, well, good for me. No, I love Spinal Tap, but I haven't seen it in years. And I'll be honest, I haven't seen the new one,
No,
and I
I guess
really
it's
want to.
I do too, and I did too. I'd interviewed Harry Shearer a couple years back, and a lot of people were saying when I was talking about the new Spinal Taps coming out, people say, "Don't break it; it's not broken." Blah blah blah. But from what I hear, it's not even worth investigating on how to find it free online.
Oh, it's not that good, eh? That's too
No.
bad.
And
That's
and,
too
and
bad.
rest in peace to
Rob Reiner, yeah, and his
right.
wife. Yep. But I've talked to my the thing was I've talked to a lot of performers,
Yeah.
music performers. Back at Much, they were mostly pop acts because that's who Much was. I mean, I talked to pop acts. I talked to guys like, I mean, Shaggy, I guess, is pop. Christina Aguilera and I had great
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
And I talked to, whoever was big at the time,
Mhm.
Coldplay, Matchbox 20, like whoever was big. I forget most of the people I spoke to because that's how much they impressed me. But I spoke to a lot of pop artists. The thing that I love about the rock is I'm talking to rock people now.
Yeah.
I mean, I did an entire, we call it Ed the Sox rock concert, where the 5 hours is me talking to the band. They pick 10 of their songs. I talk to them about each song, and we play the song. Did a great one with Leonard Skinner. It was
Oh
great
wow.
fun. Yeah. Rob Morello did a great interview with him. Who else? Judas Priest.
We mean
Um,
Tom Morello?
Tom Morello. Sorry,
Yeah.
Tom Morello. No, his brother, Rob. Yeah, Tom Morello. Yeah, like I spoke to Stallone, Frank Stallone. No, I didn't speak to either. Anyway, yeah, and Shinedown, and as you mentioned, Goo Goo Dolls, and I mean, there's so many rock acts
Was
that
there
I talked to.
was there a Denzel Washington in there?
Well, back on Much,
Really? Wow.
sort of, sort
Okay.
of. I was Lenny Kravitz was there at the Much Music Video Awards.
Oh wow, yeah.
And for some reason he agreed to do an interview with me, but he was being real precious that day. He
Oh,
was upset because his rider if I remember right, included a specific brand of chocolate chip cookies. Okay.
okay.
And we didn't have them in Canada. They agreed to it much, but didn't check into. We didn't have them. They weren't imported into Canada. So people ran around all day trying to get him substitutes, and he wasn't happy.
Wow.
Um, and then I go in to interview him with this hanging in the air, and he's got there's like it wasn't unusual to go into the rooms to interview, like their green rooms,
Yeah.
and that there was an entourage there, not unusual at all.
Yeah.
And so I go in and start talking to him, and he's initially like mumbling, looking away, and stuff like that, but I don't let it stop me.
Disrespect.
No, it was him just being him. I
Okay.
understood he was doing his bit. And so, but then I said to him, something I remember, this is years ago. Okay, don't get in my face. Not you, but the people out there looking for crap. He, I said to him, you have a reputation as something of a ladies' man, Lenny. And he nodded. I said, do you think women should be sipped like a fine wine or guzzled like a Colt 45 malt liquor? And he pauses and he looks away and he looks the other way, pauses, and then just breaks out laughing.
Oh,
Like the whole facade was gone. He breaks out laughing. The whole entourage laughs after holding their, and then I hear like glass breaking in the corner. And I look over and Denzel Washington's been there. He's sitting, those at events, they have those fold out tray holders that they put the trays on with glasses of water and stuff. He had been leaning on that. And when he started to laugh, he leaned on the thing too much, knocked the tray over, glasses of water fell all over the floor. And so that's when I just noticed he was there. And I was like, Denzel, quit making a mess of the place.
So work this in. So are you saying that Denzel Washington was working as part of Lenny's entourage?
I wouldn't call it working. I think he may have been in town filming a movie. Who the hell knows?
Okay.
Anyway, he was hanging out with Lenny Kravitz.
Oh. And that brings me to another big name, just top of my head, and then I'll ask you some of these quirky questions I found online for you. Gene Simmons, you'd followed him into a 7-Eleven?
Well, actually, he was in town promoting a now defunct energy drink. They must have paid him a ton of money. And the deal was he was going to drive around in a limo that was branded with the energy drink, and 7-Eleven was carrying the energy drink. So he was going to go to 7-Elevens that day and show up and meet the crowd and promote the drink. And I was invited to go along with him. And so I did. And we went from 7-Eleven to 7-Eleven, and I rode with him in the limo. And the thing is, he likes to be in charge.
Oh yeah, you were in charge.
Yeah, I totally owned him, and I give him credit. He actually legitimately was laughing. Like the thing about celebrities, famous people, nothing humanizes them more than when you see them legitimately laugh at something. You can never relate to somebody more than when you see them laughing at something you find funny. It's it's a humanizer. And so he was legitimately laughing, and he was letting he was letting me be me.
Yeah.
And he wasn't coming back aggressively or anything. And he took it. He wore it. And that takes, for a guy like that who's built a particular image, that says something good about the guy.
Image is everything, and that's great. I remember the one-liner you threw out there. You heckled the guys waiting for an autograph, and you said, "What are you wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt to a Kiss signing or something?"
Yeah, and the guy said it was the only clean laundry I had.
That's amazing. So let me get to a couple of these questions. I don't want to keep you too long. You've been so great. Got to have you on again. Now, what?
What are you doing there? The imitation of a goldfish?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, here's damn it. Where's the question?
You couldn't have had them called up on the screen.
Well, they are.
Well, then what's taking so long?
Just well, this one okay. Wow, these are I copied the wrong ones. Okay, here's one. This is not too bad. Do you think Canadian media is dead like a dinosaur waiting for a meteor?
Oh, the meteor already hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Canadian media is Canadian legacy media, as they call it. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, it's dead. DOA, the corpse is stinking and rotting. It's been that way for a while now. I mean, streaming killed it. But
Yeah.
this sort of goes back to a lesson from Much Music. Is that Much Music was the only game in town for music videos, but
Yeah.
it wasn't the only music videos weren't the only reason people watched it. It was the community, the camaraderie. It was the personalities. It was what we said about the music and pop culture, how we contextualized it, how
Yeah.
we had fun with it. It was
Yeah.
all of that stuff. And as soon as the internet came around and music videos could be seen online, Much Music just gave up. They said, well, people can get music videos online whenever they want. So, we can't compete with that, which was stupid because the management at the time, I mean, they were terrible. The new management, terrible. But they didn't understand what the real value and impact of Much Music was, what the value of curated content is, how much the relationships between Canadians and VJs mattered, and just the legitimacy and the authenticity of the fact that we didn't have, our budget was 2 cents and we didn't hide it. We glorified it. Like there was just something relatable about the whole thing. But they thought it was all just about the music videos. And
No.
so they changed the channel completely. They went to trying to copy reality shows
Yeah.
badly from MTV, and
Well,
that
Much
was
Music was a reality show. It was the first one. It was like
oh yeah, it
David.
was. I mean, it was real. The
Yeah,
stuff that
that's what
was
I mean.
happening, almost nothing was pre-planned. With me, nothing was
Oh, I
pre-planned.
know. At one time, you got to work on Saturday to check your schedule, and they threw you on the air.
Well, yeah, I went in to check my schedule and to get my mail, and they said, you're on the air in 5 minutes. Like, what are you talking about? I said, didn't you get your schedule? And I said, the schedules came out last night. How am I supposed to get my schedule that I'm on today? No one could call me. So I stayed and did it, but whatever. But you have to understand that the attitude at Much Music when I quit was the program director said, our viewers are stupid and just want shit. So we're just going to give them shit.
Wow.
And I did not, I knew the viewers. I was in touch with them. I did emails with them. I met them on the street. I knew that that wasn't true. And when
Yeah.
you have contempt for your audience, you got nothing.
Huh.
And they started telling VJs the audience is dumb and they don't remember anything that happened more than 3 months ago. So don't reference anything that happened more than 3 months ago. Now, I had just done a show, a series of specials called Smartass, the Ed the Sock Report, which was documentary style. And it was this one was called What's Wrong with Hip Hop? Looking at the complaints that it was misogynist and all the other stuff. And part of that was tracing hip hop music back to the griots in Africa hundreds of years ago. And the thing we determined in the end was there was nothing wrong with hip hop. The fact is they were just black, but they were doing nothing worse than the metal hair bands were in the 80s. It was the same use of sex, but they were black, so all of a sudden it was a problem. Anyway, that show did better ratings than anything else that they had that week or that month. When they played reruns, it continued to get high ratings. So I went and said, we just did a special that went back hundreds of years. And you said, don't do anything that's older than 3 months. They said, yeah, the audience doesn't want to see that. And I said, but the numbers are there. There's very strong numbers. Yeah, the audience isn't interested. I said, I
The
don't understand.
audience being the one person in management who wants to make the decision.
Well, it's like the numbers are right here. This isn't theoretical.
Yeah.
The numbers are here. The audience is interested. Yeah, they're not interested in that. How do you have conversations with people like that?
You don't work for them. No.
No, so I quit. And then after I quit, they tried to start a rumor that they fired me, but that got quashed pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, a lot of guys and females I interview worldwide, but even a lot of American, they remember Much Music.
Well, Much Music was different than MTV.
It was, yeah.
MTV was a lot of spectacle and glitz, and Much Music was not.
No. kind of.
So it was more real. They,
It was,
they got a sense that it was more real. They could really be themselves. The stress level was less. The BS was far less.
yeah. They don't walk in and then they have to go to makeup first before the green room. They just walk in and much off the street. No, yep, go sit beside Ed.
Well, the thing is with celebrities, there was a makeup room with 2 chairs,
Mm,
and there was a green room. The
mm.
green room was really small. It had a ratty couch, a metal table, and an old TV. That was all that was in there. And big stars went there, and it was embarrassing.
Oh, okay.
It was funny though.
Yeah.
Like it didn't matter how big you were, this was your green room.
Yeah. Oh, maybe you didn't hear me. No, I was looking for the green room.
Yeah. And you know what? They were fine.
Yeah.
They were fine. The bigger the artist, the more successful, the cooler they were, more usually.
Yeah.
Usually. There were some exceptions.
I find that too. 9 out of 10 people that I'll talk to when we talk off air, off camera after recording or before, they're so nice and normal. You just get, well, the thing is clickbait. So if you get somebody saying something that's stupid, like I can do all the time, but if it gets hooked, you can be labeled asshole for life, but generally they're decent people.
Okay, it with the internet, everybody can be labeled asshole for life.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? In some contexts, that's a badge of honor.
True enough, people that speak up. So, Ed, thanks so much for your time. Where can people just give us you're working for that radio station. I'll put the link below. And
90
you're
thanks for doing the research. 94.9 The Rock.
yeah,
TheRock.fm
yeah,
is where you can stream it. And
yeah.
if you go to TheRock.fm or 94.9 The Rock app, on the app, you can listen to the show wherever you are. We've got people listening in Australia, we have people in Kuwait, we got people all over the world and in the US. Any time zone, you can use the app and listen. But yeah, TheRock.fm, you go to the on demand section. I don't know why they call it on demand. It's podcasts, but you can find. I will the day after the show. I put up the show, not the music because we don't have the rights for that, but all the talkie bits. So you go to The Rock there, and I'm also on Instagram and TikTok, and I'm sure other and also I have a podcast called The Ed and Red Show. You
Okay.
can find that online. Me with my former late night co-host Leanna Kay doing that. We just talk about nonsense. Like we start a show with no topic, and somehow it becomes filled with topics. So very stream of consciousness, like Much was. And that's where you find me. That's where to look.
So just a couple quick more questions. I always do this, but Rush getting back together and touring, Triumph getting back touring. Actually, Triumph is hitting the Sioux here April 22nd. Can't wait for that show. Were you surprised that these chain of events have happened, especially with Triumph saying for 40 years they're not going to tour?
No. I mean, every band, listen, every time a band does a final concert, start the clock until their reunion concert.
Yeah.
One
true.
of the things I said to to Cone and Dave from Sum 41 when I did an exit interview with them, I said, "Okay, guys, that was it. How long until the reunion?" And the Who set the record. The Who did a huge farewell concert in Toronto in what was it, 82? And then they did new farewell concerts. I think they've done 19 of them since then. But no, I mean, listen, guys like, for example, Rush, they like to play music.
Yeah.
They enjoy playing music. They enjoy playing for the crowd. I think that they left enough of a respectful distance since they suffered that terrible death.
Mhm.
No one can accuse them of rushing back out there. But this is what they've always done. Like,
Yeah.
what are they supposed to do? Start gardening? This is
Yeah.
what they've done, and they enjoy it. Triumph. Listen, if the opportunity exists to make money, do it. They're making money off their old stuff. Do it. It endures. It stays valuable. I mean, they may have to have oxygen at the side of the stage. Who the hell knows? But you see Mick Jagger in his 80s strutting around. So as long as there's an audience for it,
Yeah.
I don't see why these bands, if they're up for it, shouldn't go back out there.
Yeah, I'm rooting for them. So what's the opposite of unsubscribe? Let's see if you did your research.
The opposite of unsubscribe?
Sir.
Oh, you mean subscribe?
Yeah.
Oh, is this your clever way to drop in that you want people to subscribe to this?
Yes.
Wow, that was really clever and subtle.
All right. Everybody do as Ed the Sock says and subscribe to the channel. And Ed, I want your opinion. How do you think I did on this?
Get rid of it. I don't want to see it again.
All right.
Get rid of it.
You know how I made it? Actually, my mother gave me a birthday card about a week ago, and it's about smelly socks. And then I just cut this out.
Did I ask? Did I ask for the history? I said I don't care about its provenance. Years ago, people used to send me female sock puppets at Much Music, and one night we took a steel garbage can in the parking lot and started a fire and threw them all in. It was like the Salem witch burnings. Anyway, that's it.
All right. Well, thanks again for your time, Ed. I'd like to do a part 2 if you'd be up for it.
Yeah, what, right now?
No, another time.
All right, another time. Next time, actually have the questions ready. You don't have to look down at your screen for 45 seconds.
All right, Ed. Thanks, man.
See ya, Ernest.